Hi Pokefans, welcome back to my Indigo Disk DLC. This is part 24. Last episode we went ahead and traded Pokemons with all of the gym leaders. It was pretty cool. In today's episode, I'm gonna go ahead and cover battling the three friends that we have from Paldean and trying to trade Pokemon with them. I wonder what stories they are gonna have since they do get a chance to come to Blueberry Academy. Alright, I've gone ahead and invited Nimona right here. As you can see, she is actually talking to Kiran. I did this just before starting this episode. Man, Kiran, I can't believe how fast you've blasted your way through the BB League and became champion. Yeah, but it turns out I'm just no good. What? What makes you say that? I only thought about winning back then. I trained and trained so much every day. I barely slept and hardly even ate. I did all that and finally made it to champion, but in the end I just got crushed anyway. I do know about that, but I do know that it's awesome how dedicated you can be. It must mean you really love Pokemon, Kiran. I guess I do like them, and that's why I work so hard. I feel a bit better about it now. Thanks, Nimona. Don't worry about it. As usual, Nimona is sweet to everyone. I'm also going to go ahead and quickly invite Arvin as well. Now, since we did trade Pokemons, it seems that the profiles have a golden border for all of those gym leaders, which is pretty cool. Here he is. Hey Dash. I came as quickly as I could. Like I would do any less for my best friend in the whole world. It's actually not surprising that Erwin thinks we are his best friend. I actually really like his character more than Nimona and Penny, but I guess that's just me. Let me know in the comment section which of these three friends do you like more. Erwin, did you hear right that a certain floppy-haired pal has been going to gyms? Yeah, you're the last person I wanted to find out. But well, yeah, figured I would start small and try one now. That's actually great news considering that he does have powerful Pokemons in his team. He shouldn't have too much of a difficulty taking down all of those gyms. But of course, I imagine that Nimona here is going to be super happy considering that she will get one more person to battle more. I definitely like the character development that they have done for this post DLC activity. Alright, it does show that each of these characters do have a goal for the future. Either way, it's time for me to go ahead and challenge Nimona as well as Erwin. I'm going to go ahead and speed up this part of the video just to make sure that I am able to go through the battle itself pretty fast. You might have seen me battle both Erwin and Nimona before, but I do wonder which new Pokemon they have added to their team. But of course, Erwin here is actually talking about how everyone was staring at him when he was preparing a sandwich out in the terrarium, which he thinks is super weird and uncomfortable, I guess. And Nimona here is definitely pretty happy about the terrarium herself. She's also quite happy about the BB League. Maybe she will try to join it as well. Who knows? Either way, it is time for me to go ahead and battle Nimona right here. Now it's definitely been some time since we last battled Nimona, so I'm really not sure which Pokemon she would start with. But luckily she did go with Lycanroc, which probably is a Pokemon that she always likes to start with. But of course it was pretty easy to defeat. Second one is Palmot. I'm still gonna go with Crocodile as it can still take it down. There we go. Up next, she does switch into Rubambi. For this one, I could have gone into Tinkaton. After all, I do have Steel type, that would have been a better choice. But in this case, I did switch into Ogerpon. Ogerpon does have a pretty good attack stat, so it should be able to take down Rubambi in one hit. There we go. Up next is this Decidueye. That is the new Pokemon that she has added to her team. Pretty cool. I guess she switched Goodra out for this one. I remember her having a Goodra in her team. Either way, for some reason I switched back into Muscrada on this. Although I could have still gone with, I guess, Iron Hands. But of course, Muscrada better be able to take it down in the next turn. Whew, thankfully it did, otherwise my Muscrada would have gone down. Next is Komao. I think we can definitely go into Tinkaton for this one. There we go. Flare Up is a pretty good move, but it's not really that powerful. I mean, it can take down Komao in one hit, but there are a couple of Pokemon that are still able to kind of resist it. So I do have to find a better move. For the last one, she is gonna bring out her starter. Now I'm really not sure if Drain Punch is the best idea, as the starter does have the fighting type. Maybe I should have bought Kilowattle into the team or Armarouge, as both of those Pokemons would have been able to take her Pokemon down. Either way, we are just gonna work with what we have right here. Drain Punch definitely did a pretty good damage, which is good. Unfortunately, I misclicked right here, and instead of going for a second Drain Punch, I went with Belly Drum. And of course, I get taken down in the very next turn. That was pretty bad. I decided to go ahead and switch into Tinkaton after that. So hopefully I'll be able to take it down without taking too much damage. The Brick Break was pretty powerful, and it did actually avoid my turn. If it doesn't work out, I'm gonna quickly go ahead and switch out my Pokemon. Alright, we were able to take her Pokemon down. I guess we did avoid a turn right there, which is pretty cool. This has definitely been super fun. Alright. As for the reward from Nemona, I wonder what we do get. We do have to invite her 2 more times in order for her to actually trade a Pokemon with us. Next up is Arvin. Let me quickly go ahead and battle him as well. After this, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Penny and battle with her. It's definitely been a long time since the last time we actually battled Irwin as well, so I wasn't really sure what to do. He starts with the Greedent, which did actually tank a Earthquake. That's alright, I will be able to take it down in the next one. I'm also wondering which starter Pokemon Irwin might have added to his team. After all, we did just see the Decidueye with Nemona. Alright, Toadscruel. I really don't have a good Pokemon to go against it. So I just switched into Iron Hands. Although I'm really not sure if this is the best of ideas. Let's just go with Drain Punch. At least that will actually heal me up. Pretty good damage. For the next turn, I'm just gonna go with Brick Break. I guess we did have a Speed type, as I did move first for the second turn. I can still stay in and try using Brick Break. There we go. The next Pokemon up is Coverian. I will go ahead and switch out into Ogopon. I should be able to take it down with Ivy Curl. Usually I'm not too worried about the Pokemons in the team, but unfortunately I have no fire type in my team, so I should at least think about adding Armarouge back. Finally I switched into Muscrada as he came into Cloyster. Going ahead with Flower Trick, definitely did the trick right here. He did get a crit hit, which is pretty good. Lastly, it is Mabustiff. I'm surprised that they actually didn't add a newer Pokemon for Irwin. He still has his old team. Maybe he really didn't catch a new Pokemon right here in the terrarium. That's alright. He does actually terrestrialize his Mabustiff, but I think we should be able to one-shot it with Iron Hands here. Alright. I guess we weren't able to one-shot it, but I'm just gonna try it again. Flare Up isn't really too powerful against me, so we were still able to do pretty good damage. Either way, that's on Irvin right here. Pretty cool. Let's see what kind of gift we do get. By the way, I remember Nemona giving either zinc or carbos. It's a pretty good gift. I guess I could just go ahead and sell them. But Arvin here gives me sandwich cases. I guess it's a new phone case that he did talk about, which is pretty nice. Finally, I invited Penny right here. Pretty cool. I actually really like Penny's team. She has all EV evolutions. Wonder which ones she is gonna use today. Let me quickly go ahead and talk to her. Seems like she is having a conversation with Arvin where he's scolding her to eat her veggies. This is what probably most of the conversations at a home happens between a mom and a child, where the mom is just yelling at to eat veggies. I think this is pretty funny. Either way, I'm glad to actually help Penny escape from that conversation right there. She's also quite nervous that we have a lot of people here, but I think she'll be just fine. Right. Don't just leave me alone for too long. We won't, but I don't think Arvin will either. But of course, it is time for us to go ahead and challenge Penny right here. Pretty exciting. Now, as usual, she does start with her Umbreon, which is not surprising. Unfortunately, I should have switched into Iron Hands first, but either way, we can definitely try this one out. Iron Hand should be able to take down her Umbreon in a couple of turns. Although I am pretty sure that I will still be able to take Umbreon here down with just Crocodile. Next up is Flareon. I'm just gonna go into Auger Point. Could have gone into Crocodile as well. And we should be able to take a Flareon here down in one hit. There we go. Up next, we have Leafeon. Alright, time to switch out. Thankfully, I think Muscada here has Acrobatics, which is the only flying type move I have right now, so I just have to use it. But of course, that's alright, as I'll be able to take Leafeon here down in a couple of turns. I decided to go ahead and terrestrialize my Muscada right here, as it would have gone down in the next turn if I did not. Never mind. At least it actually flinched. That's a good thing. Pretty lucky right there. Up next, we have Vaporeon. Right. I'm just gonna go with Flutter for Vaporeon. Should be able to take it down with a quick hit. There we go. I think there is 4 Pokemons down. Jolteon is next. I'm just gonna go into my Crocodile. Of course, she seems to not use Espeon today. After all, I believe her final Pokemon is Sylveon. Pen Missile was definitely pretty powerful, but wasn't really enough to take me down in one hit. Finally, we have Sylveon coming out. I'm just gonna go into Tinkaton. This time I think I'll be able to take it down with one hit. She does go ahead and terrestrialize her Sylveon as well. But I'm gonna go with Gigaton Hammer. Hopefully that is actually enough to break through this terrestrialization. I'm also planning to go ahead and just have a journey through Paldean with just EVs, which I think will be super cool. By the way, we have defeated Penny as well. Let me quickly go ahead and invite them for a second time, battle them all offline, and I'll come back when they are invited for the third time. I'm also going to go ahead and talk more about each of these storylines. But of course, right now we do get a gift from Penny here. Smiling VV pics. Pretty cool. I think I'll be using them whenever I do picnic. Now it did take me a couple of minutes, around 10 I believe, to defeat all 3 of them for a second time. And here we are. Apparently Nemona was a bit more interested in the BB League and she just found out that we are the champion. So she is pretty happy about that. When I did invite her for the second time, she was talking more about the BB League itself and how she wanted to just go ahead and participate in it. Either way, she does agree to go ahead and trade a Tauros for us. I guess I could go with a Drifloon for her. I think a Drifloon would be a great addition to her team. She, after all, does not have a, I think, flying type. But there we go, we get the Tauros. That was pretty nice. I'm also gonna go ahead and quickly talk to Irwin next. He was talking about how people were suspiciously looking at him when he was preparing the sandwich. When I did invite him for the second time, he was talking about how he would inquire with the students as to why they were looking at him and why they wanted all of his sandwich. But right here, he seems to have gotten the solution for it. Apparently, they did mistake him for someone else, which I believe is Crispin, who does do super fiery sandwiches. And probably they were hoping for it as well. Either way, he is also ready to go ahead and trade a Squirvet for us, which I believe was the very first Pokemon he caught. But in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and trade in a Matang for him. I think this is a great Pokemon to be added to his team. There we go. This Matang I actually found in a Terra battle and it's super nice. We also got the Squirvet. There we go. I guess these Pokemons are actually a bit more special. They do have the best friend ribbon. The last thing that's left to do is go ahead and invite Penny here to the league room. I also got the chance to kind of see the conversation between Kiran and Irwin. This happened the second time I actually invited him. He talked more about, I'm just having a guess, I think it was about a sandwich or some kind of food. They were just having a casual conversation for a couple of minutes before Kiran did decide to look at me. I did talk to Kiran as well, which is pretty nice. But here we have Penny. I also saw a conversation between Penny and Kiran where they both were trying to talk more to each other. Penny was saying that she had to be more open with him because he was going to be her new friend. Either way, here we have Penny wanting to trade a Eevee with us, which is really nice. I actually didn't realize this at this point, but the Eevee that she gives us is actually in level 1. I decided to go ahead and give her a Espeon as she does like Eevee evolutions. And I wanted her to have a memory of my Pokemon, so here we have this one. There we go. We finally got all the 3 Pokemons traded with 3 of our friends. This was super cool. In the upcoming episodes, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess invite the rest of the people that are available over there as special coaches and try to trade Pokemon with them as well. I believe we have all of the teachers as well as the champion, and I probably think the Elite 4 as well. So I'll be trying to invite them all. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you all in the next one.